Hey, if you've been listening to Calm It Down and thinking, man, I wish there was more of this. Well, there is. It's called Calm It Down Deeper, and it's where we take the conversations further. There's no rush, no time limits, just space to sit with what matters. And you can join us at calmitdownpodcast.com. Look for the word deeper. Thanks. Thank you for being here. So let me see if this scenario seems familiar. Someone asks, how are you doing? Fine, you say. Good, busy, you know how it is. They nod, you smile, and then the conversation, it moves on. And inside, you're screaming, not literally, not being overly dramatic here, but just quietly screaming. And the part of yourself that no one else can see. Because, let's be honest, maybe you're not fine. Maybe you're exhausted. You're overwhelmed. You're barely holding it together. But you didn't say that. You said you were fine, because that's what we do. We say we're fine when we're not. We say we're good when we're drowning. We say everything is okay when it absolutely isn't. Am I alone in this? Well, let's dive in. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. All right, serious question. Are you ready? Are you? What are you not saying? I'll ask that again. What are you not saying? Not to the stranger at the coffee shop, not to your coworker, not even to the people you love the most. What are you holding back? Like, what truth are you swallowing? What need are you pretending doesn't exist? Maybe you're not saying that you're lonely, even though you're surrounded by people all day. Maybe you're not saying you're scared, even though the future feels like a cliff you're about to walk off. Maybe you're not saying that you're angry, even though you have every right to be. Maybe you're not saying you need help, even though you're drowning in plain sight. We all do this. You are not alone. We all carry things we don't say out loud. And there are reasons for that, good reasons, and protective reasons, actually. But eventually, the things we don't say start to take up more space than the things we do. I'm going to say that again. Eventually, the things we don't say start to take up more space than the things we do. So why don't we say it? Well, sometimes it's because we don't want to burden people. We tell ourselves they have their own problems. They don't need to hear ours, right? That's usually what we say. And sometimes it's because we don't trust it will matter. We've tried being honest before, and it didn't help. So what's the point? Why even bother? And sometimes it's because we don't even know how to say it. I mean, the feeling is there, the words, not so much. So we just stay quiet. And sometimes it's because, well, we're afraid. We're afraid of being too much. Afraid of being too needy, too heavy, too honest. So we keep it in, and we smile, and we say, we're fine. We hope someone will notice anyway. But let's be honest. People can't read your mind. They can't see what you're not saying. If you don't tell them you're struggling, they'll assume you're okay. If you don't tell them you need space, they'll assume that you want company. If you don't tell them what hurts you, they'll assume everything is fine. And then you'll resent them for not knowing, for not seeing, for not asking the right questions. But guess what? They can't know what you won't say. I'll say that again. They cannot know what you won't say. Look, I know it's hard. I do. I know it feels uncomfortable and vulnerable and risky to speak the truth out loud, but staying silent, that has a cost as well. The things you don't say, they don't disappear. They sit in your chest. They live in your body. They show up as tension and exhaustion and resentment. And they leak out in small ways, like your tone or your withdrawal or the way that you snap at someone over something small, because the big thing, it's just too heavy to name. So you think you're protecting yourself by staying quiet, but guess what? You're just carrying more weight. So what do we do with this? Well, start small. You don't have to announce all your truths at once. You don't have to have the big, hard conversations today. You don't. You don't. When you can start noticing what you're not saying, okay? And then take that a little bit further. Notice why you're not saying. And then when you're ready, you can try saying one thing, just one. Okay, put a cap on it. Maybe it's, I'm not okay. Or maybe it's, hey, I need help. Or maybe, I'm really tired. Doesn't have to be eloquent. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to be true. So here's your practice for this week. Each day, ask yourself, what am I not saying today? Not to fix it, not to force yourself to speak, just to notice. Notice the gap between what you feel and what you say. Notice where you swallow your truth. Notice who you're protecting, and if it's really them or if it's you. And at the end of the week, choose one thing, one small truth that you have been holding back, and then say it out loud to someone safe. Again, not to fix anything, not to solve anything, just to practice speaking instead of swallowing. Because the things you're not saying are still there. They're still real, and they're still taking up space. And maybe, hear me out, maybe it's time to let them out. So, I want to end with this. Someone will ask how you're doing this week. I mean, they will. Maybe you'll say you're fine. Maybe that's true. I hope so. But if it's not, maybe you'll say something else. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized Sweet Tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you, and you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.